blow by blow. That's what it takes. First quarter, body blows. Second quarter, body blows. Third quarter, body blows. Fourth quarter, knockout.
Prove it. SEC opponent on the road. Prove it by action.
Blow by blow. Blow by blow. All week take blow by blow. Blow by blow ain't no knockout blow. It ain't no knockout blow early for each other. Connection. We stay together. We got all we need right here in this room. You hear me?
What is going on, football family? We are back with another film session, and next up is linebacker / edge rusher Jalon Walker. He's one of the most talented players coming out of this draft class, and he's an athlete who didn't make his first start until this season, primarily serving as a third down edge rusher in his first 2 years, but Walker has incredible potential. With the right coaching, he can maximize his talents and become a true game wrecker on the field. So when you're taking a look at Jalon Walker, we're talking about a player who stands at 6'2" and weighs in at 245 pounds. This past season, he racked up 61 total tackles and 6.5 sacks. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and he won the Buckus Award this year. That makes 3 Buckus Award winners from Georgia in the past 8 years, a testament to the school's pedigree in preparing linebackers for the next level. So on this play here, you'll see Jalon Walker battling it out against draft prospect Kelvin Banks Jr. Throughout this game, Walker dominated the entire offensive line. His great effort and long arms, a key trait that scouts look for, are on full display here. He plays through the whistle and finds any way possible to bring down a quarterback. This is exactly the kind of tenacity we want to see from both of these draft prospects, going out there and battling it out in the trenches. So activating the system. So looking at this play here, I love to see 2 draft prospects going up against each other. The good thing about a player like Jalon Walker, when he's rushing on the edge, he has very long arms. So he uses that and strikes Kelvin Banks. The thing is with Kelvin Banks, he did not get in good position and he was losing his footing. But you see that they clashed one more time. It looked as though Kelvin Banks was going to lock on and sink his anchor, but Walker was able to get his weight down and fall straight to the quarterback. And keying in on that right arm of his right there, he was able to extend it and clip him. And this is why scouts are looking for those bendy athletes who is physical and have long arms. Because sometimes if you're in the way with those long arms, you can either get leverage on these tackles or you can be able to stretch those arms and get these ball carriers down. But seeing him going out there and clashing with Kelvin Banks, not allowing him to be able to clamp down and sink his anchor and disrupting the quarterback was great to see by the linebacker. Here's a rep of him making a key tackle, reading and diagnosing the play before closing in. Now, sometimes he does overthink plays, probably due to his inexperience, but more times than not, he's out there reading and reacting quickly. And that is very important when it comes down to the off-ball linebacker position. So we'll go ahead and split it. So running this play here, just watching Walker, just seeing the patience from this player. The running back gets the ball and he locks in. And the better linebackers, you don't want to over pursue plays. You got to get yourself in position to be able to close in on the ball. But seeing him going out there and getting to the running back and make a key tackle, this is what you want to see when it comes down to your linebacker. And the way that their defense deployed him with his skill set, he did just about everything on the field, playing that linebacker position as well as the edge rusher position on both sides. In all of the big time games that I watched of this player, he always showed up. And that's all you can ask for from your player, a guy that can go out there and make a difference week in and week out. But seeing him going out there and reading a play before striking and making that key tackle, it was another dominating rep by Jalon Walker, going out there and setting the tone. Here's another rep here where he was able to disengage from Kelvin Banks again and get to the quarterback. And I'm not saying that Kelvin Banks is a bad player, but sometimes you might end up meeting your match. And with a player like Jalon Walker, he is definitely that guy. So running this play here, just watching the movements from him, thought that tight end wanted to block him. I love to see my edge rusher going out there and being slippery, closing in, bending the corner, and extending his left arm. And as you can see by him extending, Kelvin Banks was not able to get a hold of him, so he was able to disengage quickly and lay a body on the quarterback again. That's why I always say positioning is very key. You got to use your hands. You cannot get overly aggressive. So this player has made some big time plays throughout college, but it won't be perfect. Sometimes he does have issues getting away from these tackles because he attacks square on and it's hard for him to be able to get away. But a lot of times you'll see him jumping off the screen and making big time plays. But seeing him getting in good position and stressing out Kelvin Banks again on this rep, these are the plays that allow a defense to be able to take that next step. And with Jalen Walker, he has that dog in him, a guy that can be able to wreck a game on any given play. One thing I really like about Walker is his patience after the snap. You'll see him lurking and focusing on the quarterback. When the quarterback runs out the pocket, Walker quickly breaks to the ball. And this athleticism is exactly what scouts are looking for, especially if he's going to spy on mobile quarterbacks at the next level. So we're going to run it. So looking at this play here, this literally had to be one of my favorite plays. You see that he's stepping very slowly, and the quarterback has the ball, but he's patient. Sees that quarterback takes off. Now he's on the move. But looking at the closing speed from this player is amazing. Finding ways to be able to hunt down these quarterbacks. But looking at my guy going out there bringing that energy with a little pep in his step. When you do have this kind of energy on a team, it can rub off on everybody. And the good thing about this player, he's a leader on and off the field. And this is what NFL teams are looking for. And there are a lot of scouts saying that they're unsure of what position that he will play. But I think with this type of talent here, you can utilize him just the way that Georgia did, playing that linebacker family. Being a linebacker isn't just about stopping the run. You also need to have the athleticism to mirror tight ends and running backs in coverage and understand zone positioning. Walker does have some room to grow at this, but I love seeing him jumping off the screen, moving out in coverage, and closing in on a tight end to make a key stop, making plays at every level of the field. So let's run it. So looking at this play here, just watching him play off that edge, just flipping his hips. I love to see this from our linebackers. Seeing that the quarterback is staring down at tight end, flips his hips, and breaks to the ball. And with Walker playing in that Georgia defense, he had a ton of responsibilities, playing that linebacker position, stopping the run, covering these tight ends, rushing from the edge. This is how this player got in position to win the Buckets Award. So that right there should tell you all you need to know when it comes down to this athlete. And if you already have impact players in your front seven, this kind of player here will allow you to be able to take that next step. But seeing him shoot out in zone coverage, quickly flip his hips to get to that tight end, and make a key tackle was good to see on film, being one of the most consistent defenders coming out of this draft. So in this final play here, you'll see another rep where Walker uses his eyes effectively and times his attack on the quarterback perfectly, forcing an incompletion. These are the traits here that can be able to separate you from any linebacker coming out of this draft. And I believe if he can be able to put it all together, the sky is the limit for this player. So we'll go ahead and spin it. So running this play here, just watching the speed from this player, the quarterback pump fakes the ball. It looked like Walker almost bit on a play, but he was fast enough to close in and get to the quarterback. And the quarterback did throw the ball, but usually when you can be able to generate pressure like this, it can force a bad throw. And sometimes when these quarterbacks are throwing those waffles like that, it can be a quick turnover and completely change momentum. In playing in this game, he actually got 3 sacks against that offensive line, being one of the top impact players coming out of this game. And having 6.5 sacks is going to be good when it comes down to this player. He's great against the run. He takes on blocks with his hands. He plays with a good base as well as great knee bend. He also knows how to utilize his hands when he's rushing off the edge. The list goes on and on when it comes down to this talented player. So whatever team that drafts Walker, they will definitely need to have a plan for him. But if you're willing to take a chance on this athlete, it can pay off big time. And sometimes you got to follow history. Guys like Nakobe Dean was a Buckets Award winner, as well as Roquan Smith. And this year with Jalen Walker. So if you're a smart team that understands that dog mentality, you will go get this player. So comment below and let me know what you guys think about Jalen Walker and what position do you feel as though he should play once he gets into the NFL. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell because of the way the YouTube algorithm works. If you don't hit it, you'll miss on fire updates and the best football film sessions on YouTube. All right, football family. Talk to y'all soon. Gone.